The LMC casts a wide net over the Sound Shore to bring you local event info, profiles, and conversations. Recorded in the heart of the village in Mamaroneck Cinemas at the studio on the Avenue, LMC Media brings you the LMC Cast Community Profiles.
Hi, my name is Mike Reynolds. I'm a longtime Mamaroneck resident. I've attended a lot of events over the years. The Tiki Party, Fireman's Carnival, the movies and concerts down at Harbor Island Park, the parades for St. Patrick's Day and Memorial Day. I've been in Turkey Trot. I'm a spectator, not a participant, but I've never been to Steinyfest. This year I'm going to change that. On this edition of LMC Cast Community Profile, I'm going to speak to Greg Steinberg, the man behind Steinyfest, which on Saturday, October 5th, will celebrate its 5th incarnation and bringing together people, music, and fun to the villages of Larchmont and Mamaroneck. How are we doing today, Greg?
Doing great. Thank you so much for having me here. Really appreciate the opportunity. LMC has been supportive of past Steinyfests, and we really appreciate it. And please call me Steiny.
Okay. All right, Steiny. Tell us about yourself. You were a tech entrepreneur, and now you're a concert promoter?
Yeah, now I'm a concert promoter. So I ran a technology company called Something Digital for 22 years and was lucky enough to sell that in 2019. And right about that same time, things were shutting down around, and artists didn't have a lot of opportunity. So I connected with an artist in particular by the name of Vilray and asked him to do a concert in my backyard, and he said sure, and we grew it a little more from there. There was another local artist named Milton that I was friendly with, and he was willing to come over and do it. And this was at a tough time. This is when people were, washing their groceries before they brought them into their houses.
Sure.
So built a little stage, and actually my sister Mara Steinberg's backyard over near Howell Park.
Okay.
Built a little stage in the back and had 4 or 5 artists, and were able to, I think the artists really appreciated it, and I know the 100 people that were there and had to stay in a little circle that I painted little circles on the ground, so everyone had to stay in their little circle.
Right.
Yeah.
The pandemic pen, as it were?
It was a pandemic pen, exactly right.
All right. This year's event will be held on October 5th, as I said, from 3 to 10 at 619 Waverly Avenue, which is where Toyota City stores its cars. General admission tickets are for $33.85, including fees, and there's a VIP experience, which includes a nice package from Etain for $97.88. But before you tell us about that, Greg, you just mentioned, again, its roots are very humble. As it became Steinyfest per se, the first one was in 2021?
2019.
Okay, summer. Okay,
yeah.
That summer. Okay, so and you've had 3 or 4 of them at your sister's house?
So there were the first 3 were at my sister's house. After doing it one time, we just was like, oh well, maybe we could do this again. Why couldn't we do this again? Tapped into some relationships for some other artists, and it was really a backyard affair. The second time, the third time grew a little more. Spent a little more, reached a little further for artists in terms of finding some nationally touring artists, brought in some catering, and made it a big party. We had probably 300 people in the backyard. It was great.
Wow. Okay.
And then it was time to make a decision. Do we want to try and grow this and turn it into something a little bit more? And it was fun, and we were all having fun, and we had a great partnership with the brewery that's right over here on Hoyt Avenue in Mamaroneck. We had it there last year.
Okay.
Had about 400 people, and was really, really a success. The music was fantastic, and really started to find our way in terms of how to promote it and how to get the word out about some different things.
But it's still at its core kind of a family affair. Your daughter's involved, your friends. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So my oldest daughter, Mia Steinberg, who graduated from Mamaroneck High School in 2017, she's the captain. She keeps me on track with everything that's going on. She's really helped kind of get things organized, fantastic ideas, really creative, from the creative work and her input on that to the promotional calendar and building good relationships and making sure, the experience is going to be something that people are going to really appreciate when they come, from the food and the lighting and the sound, and the artists are going to have a good experience, and this VIP experience is really going to be exciting. My youngest daughter helps out on the day of. She's really excited about it. The two of them have a little competition to see who can get more promotional events from their friends and family, so
Okay.
that's fun. And my wife Jill has been really valuable in selling sponsorships. She has a background in sales, and I sort of was scratching my head like, how are we going to do this? And she's like, I'll show you how to do it. And she was able to find a lot of the sponsors that we have for this year and make sure that those sponsors have a really good experience.
Cool. And she's also involved. There's a charitable component to the event.
Yeah, so she's been, we all have kind of been involved in that. In the previous, we've had sort of ad hoc philanthropy relationships. We did some coat drives and clothing drives and things like that. And we really wanted to find something that was a little more, a matchup with our mission. And a friend of ours, Rob Weistuck in Larchmont, who is on the board of an organization called Education Through Music. And they place music teachers at schools in New York City that have underfunded music programs, and connected us with All Hallows High School in the Bronx.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, right by Yankee Stadium. And they have
Used to play them in basketball at Mount St. Michael.
they have a fantastic music program, a great teacher, and they've really have developed like a band that they have, and incredibly talented musicians and kids there. So we were able to contribute to some of the stuff that they're doing there, and excited to have a couple of the All Hallows band members be helping us out as kind of interns on the day of Steinyfest. So that's going to be great.
Cool. Very good. You mentioned the last year's event was at halftime. I think you said there were 300-400 people there.
Yep.
As you move this year to Toyota City, because you're expecting more folks, how do are the cars gone? How are we going to set up down there?
Yeah. Well, first I should say thank you to the Toyota City Mamaroneck folks. Mike Iannelli is the boss over there, and I kind of strolled into his office one day about 6 or 7 months ago and asked him about this, and he said, sure, let's do it right away. He was really game. They have a really good community focus, and they were excited about it. So thanks to Toyota City. But there is a parking lot there. They're going to clear out the parking lot completely. It's a great space. It's going to be on a Saturday, and there's not a lot of residences, so we'll be making some noise. That'll be fine. Usually not a lot going on there, so there'll be plenty of parking around in the neighborhood. The other side of it, there's not a lot there, so we got to bring in everything. We're bringing in power, we're bringing in food, we're bringing in beverage, all the tents, all the barricades, facilities.
When do you start doing that stuff?
So we're starting to do that the Thursday before, so we'll start that on the 3rd.
Okay.
And sort of on the 3rd and the 4th, we'll get everything built up. There's a stage that we build. We try and enhance the stage a little bit more each year.
Okay.
But it has, an interesting mix of, it's a real festival. We have a real professional sound, team that comes, and professional lighting. It's a do-it-yourself stage, but the food is all going to be phenomenal. The experience is going to be great. People are really going to get their money's worth. And, the artists that are there I describe as emerging artists. They're come from around the nation. We'll talk about them a little more, but our tagline has become, and this is what I'm looking, I think anyone who comes there has a really good chance you're going to find your new favorite band. The musicians are great. They're playing their own music. It's really exciting. There's a lot of great new young music. It's not all just nostalgia acts, which sometimes is what we get up here a little bit of. So just trying to change that up a little bit and support their arts and be involved in that.
Very nice, very nice. So in addition to Toyota City, who are your other sponsors this year?
So a couple of great sponsors. We have 2 returning sponsors from last year. Rothman's Clothing Store in New York City, which is owned by Ken Gidden, who's a local dad. He's been really supportive of Steinyfest last year and this year. Another company called Halo Kinetic, which is a new company. They're a technology firm started by my former partner, John Klonsky. They're a ServiceNow provider, so they've been great about supporting us. Also support from Window World. Window World Westchester, which sells and distributes windows. One of my key people that's been involved in doing this is a friend of mine, Mickey Glauber, and he came from that world commercially, so really happy to have their support. And also Athletic Brewing, which has some connections to the Westchester area. They're a really popular non-alcoholic brewed beverage beer, I guess, and so they've been great. And as you mentioned already, we're going to have a VIP experience. It's the Etain VIP experience. And Etain is a dispensary based out of White Plains. I believe it's the only local women's-owned dispensary in the area.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they're going to give, again, for the VIPs, as it were, it's a nice package. It's a good swag bag,
Yeah,
right?
I think it's a great swag bag. I brought some of the stuff. So, there's a great area. We have a premium section set up for where the VIPs are going to be. We're going to have a couple of tents in there. So if there's a drizzle or anything like that, everything will be fine. We've been really lucky with weather in the past. There's going to be seating for the VIPs. There's going to be a special VIP executive bathroom. We're going to have...
That's important.
That's important. We're going to have snacks, non-alcoholic beverages. And then we have this swag bag, a lot of great swag from some of our sponsors. L'Oreal has donated a bunch of stuff. Window World has donated a bunch of stuff. And there's a tote bag that you'll get along with it, and a concert T-shirt from the concert for that day.
Very nice, very nice. As to the main event, let's get to the music.
Yeah.
In the past, Steinyfest has hosted Cordovas. Rebecca Haviland, Larchmont's own singer and songwriter, and her Whiskey Heart has performed at a couple of Steinyfests, I believe.
That's
Last
right.
year's event featured Juice, a funky rock and R&B six-piece unit out of Brooklyn, Nashville-based pop songstress Molly Grass, and Quinn Sullivan, who's a guitarist, songwriter, singer out of Boston. This year's lineup, it's eclectic, as you said, and original. Priscilla, if I'm saying that right, as opposed to Godzilla. Priscilla is the opening act.
Priscilla is the opening act. So we ran a little, and another one of the key folks on our team, Rachel Kahn, who's another Mamaroneck High School grad, she helped me run a contest to get to find a singer-songwriter to open up, and Priscilla won the contest. And she is actually from Florida, and she's a singer-songwriter who plays the saxophone. So she's going to be phenomenal. It's really something interesting to see. Next up is going to be Lila Ford. So Lila Ford was a finalist in The Voice in 2023, and we connected with her. Kind of coincidentally, we were DMing her, trying to get her to come get involved, and then my daughter Mia actually happened to just coincidentally run into her at a bar in New York City, and they struck up a conversation and had a great conversation, and she came out, which is great. So she's going to have a full band. It's going to be a great sound. I mean, she is phenomenal. She's going to be a star. Next up is a great rock and roll act, some 20-something-year-old kids out of Tallahassee, Florida, sort of a classic rock infused sound that they have. They have a new album out there. They're really going to be great.
This is the Retrograde?
This is the Retrograde. Okay. Sorry, I didn't say that. Then next is the National Reserve. So National Reserve is kind of an Americana sound. They're based in Brooklyn. Phenomenal songs, a lot of play. They're going to be fantastic. And then the headlining act is a group called Couch out of Boston, sort of a funky pop sound, a female front person, and great horn section. So a lot of music festivals have a certain genre of music that they stick with, and we've taken the approach to try and find, four, really distinct artists and kind of bring them all together. Hopefully increasing the chances that you're going to find your favorite band when you're there.
And they're all from different sounds, in different parts of the country.
Yep, absolutely. Yep.
Very good. All right. Music aside, we're all going to listen, going to move around, so we need some food and we need some drinks. What's going on that way?
Sure. So we have Captain Lawrence from Elmsford is going to come. They're going to bring their beer truck, and they're also going to bring their food truck. So they have sort of like tavern food in their food truck. A huge local favorite. This was a must-get for us, Tekka's Tacos from New Rochelle. So many of your listeners probably have had Tekka's Tacos before, so they'll enjoy that. Pizza from Sienna's Pizza. So a pizza truck will be there, and we'll also have a provider, Particular Provisions, that'll be providing sweets and cookies and brownies and that sort of stuff. So it really have kind of covered the bases there, and looking forward to those vendors like everyone that contributing to the great experience.
All right. Now, you mentioned that you haven't had problems with the weather, but I've read a report that suggested maybe the forecast wasn't so good going into last year, and they had to talk you down a little bit. Was there a chill tent for Mr. Steiny?
Last year we had the day, it was pouring rain outside the day of the in the morning.
Okay.
And we were putting this tent together, and it was just, I don't know. It was tough, but everyone, got it all done. We got everything done. And about 2 hours before the event started, the skies cleared up, and it ended up being beautiful. And, listen, it's going to go on, rain or shine. The tent,
Right.
the stage is covered. We have a lot of really big tents. We can position them properly so everyone will have a good time. I'm not worried about it. I mean, I'm a little bit worried about it, but it's going to be a great day either way.
What's your sense? Are most of the attendees local, or you getting people from the area coming up from the city, or what?
We get a lot of local attendees, obviously, a lot of Larchmont, Mamaroneck,
Sure.
Scarsdale, Greenwich, Rye, Harrison, a lot of those kind of folks. I've kind of put a lot of effort into just, kind of grassroots guerrilla marketing, putting up flyers,
Sure.
around these towns. And then we get a lot of fans from the city. These artists.
Brooklyn guys are bringing their guys, right?
Oh yeah, these artists are, they're not necessarily well known, but they have passionate fans, and especially in a place like New York where they love music, they're going to find them. And where I would say that the crowd is probably 70-30, 70 percent people our age, sort of 50 plus,
Okay.
and then 30% people in their 20s, and my two daughters, Mia and Josie, Rachel, Lisa Glauber, also they've really kind of taken on a lot of the promotional effort to that cohort. And the music is in some ways tailored to young people, and I want old people to realize that, hey, there's still really good music being made by young emerging artists.
Cool. All right, we're at the end or near the end here. So Steiny, let's recap. Fun, friends, food and music. They can be a part of this. Again, I forgot, it's $33.98?
Yeah. So they can get tickets at Steinyfest.com on the website. Would really appreciate it if you get tickets early. That would help us out a lot. The tickets are $30 and $90, and there's fees on top of that.
Right.
So I think it's like 4% or 5%.
Right.
It's through Eventbrite. So
Less than Ticketmaster? Oh, sorry. Sorry.
no, it's Eventbrite, so it's a lot less, and it's about the running this music festival. You learn a lot about where the money goes in the music business, and ticket companies take a lot of it for sure. But this is about the lowest number of fee opportunity that we could find. On the day, if you want to wait to the day of, that's fine, but those tickets are going to go up to $35 and $100.
Okay.
They're on the VIP side. I think we have 35 remaining tickets for VIP, so we've had a lot of sell through there, and the space holds a lot of folks. So we're not gonna, I don't think that will sell out, but it will. We do want to make sure we have space for and food and gift bags and T-shirts for everyone that's going to be there.
All right. Sounds like a good time. Everybody should go. That concludes this installment of LMC Cast Community Profile. I want to thank our guests, Steiny, otherwise known as Greg Steinberg. Anyway, you can see Steiny, me, all of his family on October 5th at 619 Waverly at Toyota City for Steinyfest 2024. It's from 3 to 10 p.m. Good time for all. If you don't see me there, until next time, this is Mike Reynolds for LMC Cast Community Profile.
The 5th annual Steinyfest, Mamaronec's favorite music fest, is back and taking place Saturday, October 5th from 4 to 10 at their new, bigger location at 619 Waverly Avenue. It's a great evening of music, food trucks, beer, wine, cider, and friends. This year's festival features music from Couch, the National Reserve, 2023 The Voice finalist Leela Ford, and The Retrograde. Tickets on sale now. Go to Steinyfest.com for more info and to purchase tickets in advance.
Thank you for listening to the LMC Cast Community Profiles, produced at LMC Media's studio on the Avenue. Visit lmcmedia.org to book your time in this state-of-the-art convenient location, walkable from the Metro North train station on Mamaroneck Avenue. You can also support this nonprofit media center at lmcmedia.org/donate.